Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. Today is... What is today? Friday, the 5th day of July. Holy cow. I am already lost, and we're only 5 days in. This is not good. It's Mechanical Pencil Day. I remember when I was a kid, I remember the first time I had a mechanical pencil. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
I have one.
Yeah, you've got one right in front of you.
Pencil.
It's National Apple Turnover Day. I remember when I was a kid when I had my first Apple Turnover. I don't remember that. National Bikini Day. I'm going to just skip that. National Graham Cracker Day. Workaholics Day. Work Without Your Hands Day. Algeria's National Day. Venezuela's National Day. And Cape Verde's National Day. So a lot of national days happening today. And I'm so excited to visit with our guest, Elizabeth Mitchell. She's a part of a bunch of movies and TV shows. You know her, you love her. She's in a new movie that just hit theaters yesterday. It's called Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot. It's based on a true story that is really cool, and I'm excited to chat with Elizabeth all about it coming up. Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Becoming a dad could result in a shorter life, according to new research. A study out of Chicago's Northwestern University found that fatherhood may take an alarming toll on men's heart health as they age. Researchers found that cardiovascular health tends to worsen for fathers compared to men without children. They theorize that the added responsibilities and added stresses that come with parenthood may make it more challenging for fathers to maintain a healthy lifestyle through habits like exercising and regularly eating nutritious foods. So there you go. That's interesting. So that's one more thing I can blame it on. It's,
Blame it on the kids.
it's you darn kids. That's what's going on. That's why I can't make it to the gym. Dad, we don't even live at home anymore. We're grown and gone. Yeah, well, I don't have any other excuses, so I'm blaming you anyway. All right, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signing, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Heidi, did you know the College of the Ozarks does not charge tuition? Instead, students work on campus for at least 15 hours a week and have 2 40-hour work weeks. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if they still do that, but when this little fact was written up, they did. So that's kind of neat.
Nice.
We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. Brooke Mueller, the ex-wife of Charlie Sheen, has been embroiled now in the investigation surrounding the death of Matthew Perry.
What?
So, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on. The two reportedly met while they were in rehab, and they're thinking that maybe she had something to do with what happened. So I don't know what's going on there. National Geographic is paying homage to Jaws. They've been given a green light now for Jaws at 50. That's the working title for a feature documentary to celebrate the 50th anniversary.
That's pretty cool.
Of Jaws. And when this comes out, it will launch on National Geographic and Disney Plus and Hulu as part of Shark Fest.
Nice.
And Paris Hilton testified to Congress that she was abused and force-fed medication during time she spent in youth residential treatment facilities.
Yikes.
So I didn't know all that stuff was going on.
No, me either.
So, yeah, and a lot of the stuff was when she was like 16 years old and 15 years old, and weird stuff going on. I've got more details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Heidi, this is a cautionary tale for anyone who drinks coffee. Drinking more than 42 cups of coffee in one sitting can kill you due to caffeine overdose.
42 cups of coffee?
That's why I always, no matter what, I always stop at 40 just to be safe. Just to be safe. That's a lot.
Safety
That's
first.
a whole lot of. How many cups of coffee do I drink?
I don't even drink a full one
Yeah.
in the mornings. I don't know how
And
many
I
you
drink
drink.
the
You
rest
drink
of
quite
the
a
pot.
bit. Yeah.
So whatever that is.
You do drink quite a bit.
I like coffee. What can I say? And now we cannot expect all the it people to agree on the new summer fashion trend for men. But this is one of the definite growing in popularity things in some circles, short shorts. At Gucci's Spring 2025 menswear show in Italy, short shorts dominated the runway, with 41 out of 46 ensembles featuring pants that ride high on the thigh. In attendance was Gladiator 2-star Paul Mescal, sporting a pair of white striped shorties, styled with loafers, mid-calf socks, and a blue Oxford. Jeremy Allen White and Donald Glover have also been seen recently in micro trousers, as has Chris Pine, who defends his fashion choice to E by saying, "It's called short shorts, isn't it? It's supposed to be short." End
It's
of
hard to
quote.
believe those are coming back.
Yeah. Do you remember Magnum PI?
Oh, yeah.
Would that be short shorts?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I was going to say, I remember when I was a kid.
Yes,
Well,
that
there's
is short shorts.
I'd turn on the TV. I'm like, there's a lot of leg looking back at me there, pal. Thank God you have that mustache to look at, because I can't not see the legs
that's
otherwise.
That's really hard to believe.
Yeah, it's and I've never been a fan. I have shorts that go down below my knee, and I'm happy with that. So these are good right here. No higher than this. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Excited right now to visit with our guest, Elizabeth Mitchell. You know her from Outer Banks, Lost, Nurse Betty, the Santa Claus movies, so many amazing things. She's got a new film that's out right now. It just hit theaters yesterday. It's called Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot. And Elizabeth, what a fun name, Possum Trot.
Oh, it's so fun. I think it's Sound of Hope Possum Trot, and it's because it's the name of the town where all of this happened, because it's a true story, which is very exciting.
So let's talk about that. When you're doing a movie where the character that you're playing is a real person, it's based on a true story, how different is that for you?
I think there is that feeling of wanting to honor the person that you're playing. You know, this person who has meant so much to so many people. You want to get it right, and you want to make sure that you are a voice for them. You know, that you are honoring their dreams and their hopes and who they are at their core. So I do think there's a lot of pressure to, in a good way, about making it true and making it, just the way that they would want it to be. So I kind of love the challenge of that. I love the respect of that. I think it's fun.
Again, the movie is called Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot. It hit theaters yesterday on the 4th of July, and this is a time of year where people quite often spend time outside watching fireworks, but it also gets kind of warm this time of year, so it would be awesome to sit in a theater that's air-conditioned and enjoy a great movie like this one.
Well, I mean, I think that, with the heat right now, I think an air-conditioned movie is the way to go. And it's also, it's a beautiful story. I do think, 4th of July, if you could go and kind of have your heart touched and feel a little bit lifted up, that's not the worst thing in the world, right?
No.
There's a lot of joy in that.
So for folks that maybe don't know much about this movie, Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot, if you could do me a favor and just kind of give us a snapshot, what is this this film about?
So it's a true story. It's set in the 90s about this little town in Texas and this congregation led by Reverend and Donald Martin who found their way and found their hearts to adopting 77 of the hardest placed kids out of the foster care system. And it's so incredibly inspiring because and as they say in the movie, they say, if we can do it with the little means that we have, if we can adopt these kids and give them a life and give them a home, who's to say that can't happen all over the world? Like it can change, it can change things. So the movie itself is incredibly inspiring and absolutely lovely. And I think right now has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is extraordinary.
That is.
But it's so deeply lovely and beautifully done and done with so much heart. The people who wrote and directed it lived with these families and in this community for years before they wrote this. So this is all done in the right way for the right reasons. And it's worth it, I think.
I love that. Now, your character is based on a real person. Did you get a chance to meet her in real life?
So she passed away, Susan did. And what I have been able to do, which has been such a joy, is talk to all of the people around her and about her. And there was another layer of kind of respect and joy about kind of being able to bring this character to life, and the fact that a lot of people can remember her and remember who she was and what she accomplished. And that felt pretty darn amazing to be able to do and to have the opportunity to do. But she was extraordinary. She really was.
Now, you're talking about how people fell in love with her. There are people who have fallen in love with you as well because you've been in so many different projects. Lost, Outer Banks, Nurse Betty, the Santa Claus franchise. The cool thing is you get to play different characters in each and every project you're a part of. That's got to be really kind of fun to be somebody different all the time.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. And I still really, really love it. I've been doing it forever and I find it to be such a joy. Every new script I get excited about. So yes, I think there's a real honor in being able to do what I get to do. I'm always so respectful of it and excited about it. There's never a day I don't wake up and think, oh my gosh, this is what I do for a living. This is crazy. But yeah, it's incredible. It really is. It's never lost on me, I think. I never wake up and go, oh, not this again.
You don't dread going in, oh, darn, I have to go do this today.
Yeah.
And I love my job as well because I get to talk to awesome people like you all the time.
I loved it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Again, the movie is called Sound of Hope, The Story of Possum Trot. It's in theaters right now. I've got a link to the trailer and all the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Caterpillars have up to 4,000 muscles.
Oh.
Yeah, so for them to have a six-pack wouldn't be all that impressive. More like a 4,000-pack, huh? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A day in the age of dinosaurs was just 23 hours long. Yeah, they know because they looked at the watches. They were all fossil bred. I think I stole your joke, Heidi. Did I steal what you were going to say? I know you so well. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
David Hasselhoff's divorce settlement awarded him the catchphrase, "Don't hassle the Hoff." His wife can't say that. That's him. So if we ever get divorced, I get fun fact for you, Heidi. Just saying.
Why would she want to
I don't know.
say that?
All right. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The milk seen in TV cereal commercials is actually glue. It's not really milk.
I knew this.
Yeah. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Blowing out birthday candles can increase bacteria on the cake by 14,000%.
Yes, it can.
Yeah, so let's not do that anymore. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signings, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetroManiaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 10% of us are happy to admit that we've played this game while drunk. What is it? I don't think it would make the game easier by any means.
I don't know.
Mini golf.
Oh.
So do you suppose they have to drink those mini bottles when they're doing that? No, not so much. All right. Have you ever played mini golf drunk, Heidi?
Most likely.
You don't remember?
Most likely.
Shocking that you wouldn't remember such a thing. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Residents of an Indian village called the police about a human body floating in a pond.
Oh.
Turns out it was just a dude resting on a hot summer day.
Oh.
This is in India. The people there, and I'm not even going to try to say the name of the town, they didn't panic when they noticed a motionless human body in their pond.
They're like,
They
"This is
tried
a Tuesday."
calling out to it when they first spotted it around 7 a.m., but they got no answer. When they noticed it still in the afternoon and it hadn't moved, that's when they called the police. Emergency services rushed to the scene where they did find a human body floating in the water, but to their surprise, what looked like a corpse turned out to be a drunk man who was napping in the water. That is not a good place to nap.
That's not a good place to nap if you're
Not a good place.
unresponsive.
I remember a dude who was working on his truck and he fell asleep under his truck, and the police were called because they thought the guy died.
Wow.
And somebody was shouting like, "You okay? Are you all right?" And he was just laying there. He had fallen asleep.
Wow.
Yeah. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Things that happen in America that confuse the rest of the world. Like a single colored currency. The U.S. dollar, the greenbacks, is powerful, but it's not very exciting to look at. Other countries, all the currency is different colors.
Yeah, they've got all sorts of colors.
Party with red Solo cups. Going to a party drinking out of a Solo cup by Americans is the thing to do, but by other places,
I think
they're
it
like,
depends on the parties.
other people around the world are like, what is the deal with that? How about eating so much? Visitors are blown away by the size of portions in America, and it's found that the candy bar size is 41% bigger, yogurt serving sizes 82% bigger, and sodas are 52% bigger than other countries. Holding a thing called the World Series when nobody from other countries are invited.
That is actually pretty funny.
Referring to themselves as Americans when there's also another continent called South America, and there's Canada, and there's Mexico, both in North America, and then measuring things in miles, feet, and inches when the rest of the world, there's only 3 countries in the world that do that. And the rest of the world's like, yeah, we don't do that. There you go. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com. Your quote today comes from Rachel Green from a little TV show called Friends. Rachel, that character, said, "Why can't parents just stay parents? You know, why do they have to become people?" Do you remember when your parents quit being parents and they became like a friend? Do you remember
I think
when
my parents were always...
I remember a vivid memory in my brain of when my dad went from my dad to me going, oh, hey, you know what? He's actually not an idiot. He's kind of smart. I'm hoping our kids get to that point someday. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It's actually kind of a weird story, too, though. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com as we head to Chicago, Illinois for a story like this. Man receives kidney transplant while fully awake, then goes home the very next day. Does that sound weird to you?
I guess I don't know how long you're supposed to wait.
Surgeons at Northwestern Medical achieved a medical milestone performing a kidney transplant on a guy named John Nicholas. He was awake during the entire procedure.
Wow.
Remarkably, he was able to go home the next day. Instead of using general anesthesia, doctors administered a spinal anesthesia shot, similar to what's used for a C-section, according to a press release from the hospital. It's the first case at Northwestern Medicine where a patient was awake during the entire kidney transplant procedure, went home the very next day, basically making this an outpatient procedure now. The transplant surgeon and the director of Northwestern Medicine Comprehensive Transplant Center said the experience inside the operating room is incredible, highlighting the unique opportunity to show a patient their new kidney. Hey, check it out. This is what we're going to stick inside of you. And then stuffing it inside of them and sewing it all up. So I might have ad-libbed some of that because he didn't say all those things. But how cool is that?
That is crazy.
John Nicholas shared his perspective on the groundbreaking procedure. He said it was a pretty cool experience to know what was happening in real time and be aware of the magnitude of what they were doing. Here's the thing. I don't know if I'd want to be awake, even if I could be. Would you want to be awake watching them slice you open?
I don't think so, but I'm sure they give you like medication for calming you and stuff. So you.
I remember when our baby girl was born, a little over 23 years ago. I know what year it is. A little over 23 years ago. You were awake for that, but I remember they put this little thing on you and they covered it so you couldn't look down and see. Do you remember that?
Right, yeah.
So I was thinking that's probably a good idea because it would be bad if you saw them cutting you open.
And you panic.
Yeah, puke all over yourself. That would be bad. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.